Hi, sports fans, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Football Show. I'm Carl Gurgis with my sidekick, Coach James Gage of your Alvin Yellow Jackets. Coach, a pretty good game the other night, 41-20 over Cleveland. Coming off the Aldine win, I thought that was a good second game. A lot of ground activity. You had to be pleased with a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Extremely excited and proud for our kids. Obviously, it was homecoming week for us, so to be able to come out and play really well at home in front of a sold-out crowd was phenomenal. You know, it was the 4 years I've been here, that was the best crowd we've had at home so far. So it was a really fun atmosphere Friday night, from the student section to the band to the cheerleaders. Everybody that was involved made it a great evening.
Well, you know, Deshaun Peterson was named homecoming king, but he didn't do a bad job out there on the football field.
Well, it wasn't Deshaun Peterson that was homecoming king. It was Deshaun Perkins was
I'm
homecoming
sorry.
king, and then Cecilia Dale was our homecoming queen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was I didn't get to see the
am
actual
I still on?
announcement of it because I was in the locker room.
Okay, am I
They said
done?
Everything went smooth, and congratulations to those two.
208 yards, 2 TDs, totaling 353 yards total. Averaged 6.3 yards per carry. He had a lot of help with Griffin, Ernst, Hodson, and Garcia as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was another night where we were able to kind of spread the ball out, to a lot of different people. And so anytime you get up over 350 yards rushing in one night, I think we had 21 first downs.
Right.
That's a good night for us. And so, we had over 440 yards rushing last week to follow it up with 350 this week. And, we still feel like we left yards out on the field too. So that's the exciting part offensively is we're getting better and better each week, but we still got a lot of room for improvement as well.
Well, you had a good crowd. It was homecoming. You had a good game, and I know you've got one coming up this week. We'll get into the highlights in a few moments, and I know you've got a lot of them to show the folks.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, we're ready for the highlight film. Now, as I said, I know you've got a lot of it, so let's get right into the game.
Let's look at them. So you can see we were backed up on our own end zone here. Defense, it was 4th and about 20, and Cleveland, instead of punting, just threw one up. And, we were on the sideline yelling, knock it down, knock it down. Well, kids are going to be kids, and they intercepted the ball. And my message to the offense was we like 96-yard drives. I wasn't expecting a 96-yard play on the first one, but
Get it over with,
Deshaun Peterson, what a tremendous athlete and kid he is. Just to be able to break free. This, I think, was actually the 5th longest run of the week, so in the state of Texas. So obviously a huge play for us. This was our big play for the night. We were backed up, and again, we were looking for about a 10 to 15 play drive right here, but we'll take the one play drive too. So great job blocking up front by our guys, and then obviously a great job by Deshaun finishing through the back of the end zone there. And his speed kind of showed. There was a point where maybe it looked like he was going to get caught, but then he just kind of put those down, that question to rest a little bit, and he didn't let anybody get near him.
Well, the 96-yard run was the second longest in Yellow Jacket history.
Second longest to one of the Oshesky brothers, I think, had a 97-yard run.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Braden Griffin also had 75 yards on 11 carries.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Ernst, 53 yards, 5 carries. You got a lot of infantry.
We did, and this is one of Braden's longest runs of the night for us. This was a 31-yard touchdown run just on our midline scheme, and gets a great block by both his running backs right there. One gets inside, one gets outside, and then he just has to make the guy miss. And that's what we tell a lot of our guys is if the safety's having to make the tackle against us, that's a good night. And in this case, the safety's there in the hole to make the tackle, and we're able to make him miss, and that results in a touchdown. So,
well, if you look at the offensive line too, there's a push there 2 or 3 yards upfield.
The initial surge from our offensive line was tremendous the other night, and those guys are getting better and better each week, and a lot of experience up front with those guys as well. And so for a junior quarterback to play behind that offensive line, it just helps him with his confidence, and then having somebody like Deshaun to take a little bit of the pressure off of him back there helps too. But he's played really well the first 2 games of the year, so excited for him and to see where he's going to be as the year goes on. So this was right before the half. Deshaun had the long touchdown run, Braden had the long touchdown run, and so Cleveland's adjustment was make them pitch the ball, and
good block on the
when they pitch the ball and we get blocking on the perimeter like we do, Isaiah Vaughns picks up a great block right there, and then Joseph Palermo on the outside picks up a block in the end zone, and Cole's able to literally just kind of coast into the end zone there. And so, when you execute the option like this, it's a pretty thing. And just to be able to see this on film and come back Saturday morning, it makes you realize everything that you're doing in practice coming together, it's working. So just great execution by all 11 guys on the field right there. So this was late in the game. This made the score 41 to 14 at the time. This kind of put them away. We gave up a cheap score down at the end. But this kind of put the game away. It was a 34 to 14 game with about 6 minutes to go. And we got in the eye a little bit the other night, more than we have in the past. And this is just our old smash play that we've been running. And a great initial surge, like you said, with the offensive line. They've been doing that all year. And then you get your quarterback and guard in the hole blocking for you. So, and then Cole finds the cutback right there. Cole finally found the big cutback right there. That's the play, or that's the cut on that play that turns into a huge play. So he did a good job of being patient, hitting the hole, and then once he hits the hole, accelerating and finding that backside cut for the touchdown.
Cole did pretty good that night, 42 yards on only 3 carries. He made them work.
Yeah, and Cole, he's a 3-year starter for us, so he understands the offense. He understands, our philosophy and what we're trying to do. So having somebody like Deshaun that you can rely on handing the ball to, but then having somebody else like Cole that's been through the fire and understands, he helps those younger guys out too with blocking assignments and adjustments and all that stuff. So we're excited about our offense and where they're at as a unit.
But as you talk about the offense, the defense forced five turnovers. Cleveland had 365 total yards, but the turnovers were keys to keeping them off the scoreboard.
Right. Cleveland did exactly what we try to do. They ran 60-something snaps to our 40-something. They ran almost 20 more snaps than us, and so they were trying to keep our offense off the field. And our defense, they gave up some plays the other night, but it was kind of that bend but don't break mentality. We had 2 huge turnovers down inside the red zone, and
right.
That was kind of the difference in the game. We did give up some yards, but when it was time to bow your neck and make the play, they did. And so anytime you can come away with 5 turnovers, obviously it's going to be a huge night for you. So, the 138 yards rushing, 83 yards passing, but you see the forced fumbles there, and then the interception, and then we had, special teams turnovers again this week. So
well, you get 4 turnovers in your hands, so that's 4 opportunities.
That's it,
right
and that's one thing. One of our goals each week is to win the turnover battle, and so we're 2 for 2 on that this year. Winning the turnover battle, and we feel like that's going to be one of the key stats that helps us win football games is being able to create turnovers while also protecting the ball. Well, let's watch a few of these defensive highlights first.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some defense and special teams highlights. So this was early in the game, 0-0 game. We punted to them, and we forced a 3 and out and punt. They're getting ready to punt back to us. Their punter just took his eye off the ball, and our kids rallied to the football. Cesar Lamelli was the first one there to hit him. And this is one of those ones, we still don't know who recovered this fumble because there's so many gray shirts around the ball. You see, it looks like Zane Bailey falls on it, but then you got 4 or 5 other gray shirts. So this was just a defensive turnover for us. We didn't give it to any one specific player because we still don't know who recovered it. But gave us the ball inside the 10. I think we scored 2 plays later to take the early lead, and then we never looked back. So, special teams, and then we had another turnover on kickoff this week. So, it's 2 turnovers in the special teams the other night. That's going to help you win a lot of football games.
Defense forced 5 turnovers,
Yes,
all
sir.
total for the ball game.
Yes, sir. This is another one right here. This is their version of their triple option. It's a zone read with a kind of an RPO look to it, and our defense played it perfect. We had somebody to tackle the running back, we had somebody for the quarterback, and then we also had somebody for the pitch guy. And we put enough pressure on the quarterback to force kind of an arid throw, and I think it's Hunter Kneifel ends up falling on the ball after Cesar Lamelli puts a big hit on the kid. So really good fundamental play, again, inside the 15-yard line. So they were driving. I think this was the first series of the second half. It was a 2-score game, and then we went on an 11-play, 6.5-minute drive to turn it into a 3 possession game. So going from 14 points to 21 points and being able to take time off the clock, that was kind of the difference in the game right there. So
and you notice the awkward pitch on the turnover. It was an overhand pitch instead of a normal.
Right. That's kind of the spread version of the triple option, and that's the risk you take by doing that. So this was I think this was late in the second quarter right there. This was Nathan Hicks, who we just got off the basketball court this year. First time playing football in high school. He's a senior, and he came back out in the spring and said, "Coach, I want to play." And He's been a tremendous hand for us, learning inside linebacker, great athlete, but you can see he's doing exactly what he's coached to do in there. He holds the guy up and then tries to rip the ball out. But the fun thing is watching the excitement out of our kids after. And that's one thing that Coach Billings and his staff they don't call them turnovers on the defensive side, they call them takeaways because we're taking the ball away from them. And so seeing the excitement from our kids after that takeaway was huge. And so really proud for Nathan and the opportunity that he's had to get in there and help our team out. So big play, this kind of put them out of field goal range. This may have been this was a fourth down play late in the game. You see Trevor Yarborough and Caden Newton coming off the edge there, kind of sandwiching the quarterback again. We kind of manned up on the outside and just said, we're going to bring pressure and try to get to you before you can get anybody open. And we brought more people than they could block, and we ended up having two guys free to the quarterback. So number one was a tremendous athlete, so being able to get him down like that was huge. Number one, number six were great football players for them, and so being able to wrap him up and get the loss there for the sack is a big play for us.
Well, as we said, we forced 5 turnovers. They had 365 yards of total offense, but the turnovers were key because 365 yards should get you a lot of points. We pretty well held them to that, though.
Yes, sir. So we, they had a good scheme and they had some really good athletes, and we had some things that I think inexperience kind of hurt us on, just younger players still having to learn how to make adjustments on the fly, and so very good coachable, teachable film on Saturday morning for us, and we feel like we've gotten some of those mistakes corrected, and we're looking for another opportunity to get better this week against United.
Well, it was a good homecoming win. You had a huge crowd. I mean, that's one of the biggest crowds that we've had.
And that's what I told our kids was, when you walk out that back door and you see the stands filled like they are, that's a sign and a testament to our kids and the impact they're having on the school and on the community. So that just kind of reiterates what a special place Alvin is when you walk out and see the crowd that we had on Friday night. What
do we know about Beaumont United? This is the first time ever.
First time ever playing Beaumont. So
and Alvin school too, I believe.
Yeah. So I know Manville played them last year, and then Manville played Beaumont Westbrook a few weeks ago. Yeah. But this is Alvin's first time playing United. They were 6A. They went back down to 5A. Now they're back up to 6A. So Beaumont's a long ways from here, about an hour and 45 minutes. And so, we're gonna leave early enough to get over there and get off the bus, stretch out a little bit, and kind of get our feet back underneath us. But they're a very talented group. They've got a Division I tackle. They've got several college type players on their team. They've got great skill kids. Very athletic, but it'll be a good test for us. And going into district, that's exactly what we wanted, was a good test. And so, for us to go over there and play these guys, we'll kind of see where we're at as a football team.
Well, we've got a 7 o'clock kickoff at Beaumont ISD Memorial Stadium. That's this coming Friday night. And then the following week, we got to bye before we get into the district play.
Yes, sir.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed it tonight. We'll be back on the same time, same station with Coach Gage next week, and when we come back with the Beaumont United highlights of that game. I'm Carl Gurgis along with Coach James Gage, and we appreciate you being here. We'll see you next week. Go Jackets.
Jacket pride never dies.